the 2016 NFL preseason comes to a close with the fourth and final tune-up for the regular season. It's the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Welcome to the banks of the Ohio River in Paul Brown Stadium. I'm Kevin Lee, along with longtime NFL assistant coach Rick Venturi. Well, Rick, let's face it, the fans have been looking forward to the start of the regular season, and we're now within 10 days as far as the Colts and Bengals are concerned. But for these players, what is the significance of this game?
Well, this is absolutely huge. This is going to be tonight, and to me it's a privilege to watch a group of guys on both sides of the ball that are literally fighting for their NFL life. I used to always refer to this as the Employment Bowl, and I used to tell my players all the time, this may be the least publicized game, but it will be the most scrutinized game. Bottom of the rosters have to be set, as well as the 300-some practice squad jobs. So for these guys playing tonight, it's life or death.
Well, let's talk about what we're going to see tonight and the Bud Light keys to the game.
Well, the first key, Kevin, is very important, is the special teams. Have a great night on special teams. All special teams players will play, so it's a true test as far as that goes. So we know we have great kickers in Vinatieri, and McAfee, and I think we have a really good return guy in Bray. So let's bring everybody up to that standard. No penalties tonight, play a clean game, and make this a real strength of our team. Second key is we must establish who our first responders are for Detroit. We know who is going to start the game, but who are going to be those first guys in? Who is going to give us the depth, not only next week, but in the entire season? And with all the injuries that we've had, this is critical and a little bit undecided. And the last thing, I just like this game because it's the ability to uncover a diamond. Very often in my coaching career, someone has stepped up in that last game and just won a job out of nowhere. And I like that story, make it a Rocky story, a Rudy story. And so I think you're going to see a bunch of guys really putting everything in front of them tonight.
The keys to the game are brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. So will the Colts or Bengals find someone they weren't expecting to contribute tonight? Jobs are at stake. The preseason finale is coming up, and we'll kick it off next from Cincinnati.
Colts preseason football is brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. And by Kittles and the Colts, your home teams.
Nearly ready to go in Cincinnati. Coin toss down below at Paul Brown Stadium. The Bengals and the Colts wrapping up the preseason with Rick Venturi. I'm Kevin Lee. It's time to find out who's back in action, presented by Indiana University Health. Schedule an IU Health same-day primary care appointment at 1-888-IU Health. Now, there's not necessarily anyone coming back from an injury. Anyone that's at all questionable is going to sit as a precaution. But, Rick, let's focus on Stephen Ridley. Signed a little over a week ago by the Colts. He was cut by Detroit. He has been trying to work his way back from a knee injury a couple of years ago. If he's healthy, the Colts might have something.
Well, this is a great way to bring him in. You just run the heck out of him tonight, because the biggest thing is you want to find out, Kevin, is Ridley close to where he was in 2012 and 2013? He's only 27 years old. If he's even close to that, he's a guy that could not only be a top backup, he could actually be a starter and play a whole game. He's a guy that kind of combines the attributes of Turbin, that is hard running inside, with the receiving of Todman. So this is a very good idea to bring him in, take a real good look at him, and just assess exactly where you're at with him.
And Chuck Pagano told me he is going to play a lot tonight, so we'll get a good look at him. Well, FedEx is proud to deliver the game ball for the Indianapolis Colts. FedEx, solutions that matter. The Bengals won the toss. They defer. The Colts are going to receive. And Mike Nugent will do the kicking for Cincinnati. Josh Ferguson is back deep for Indianapolis, one of the rookies, trying to put some good tape tonight, work his way onto the roster, if not here, somewhere else. Nugent, the right foot into it. It is about 6 yards deep. Ferguson will field it, take a knee, and Indianapolis will start from their 25. Now it's time for our first Toyota starting lineup, a Toyota game report. of the night, and we welcome the third member of our team, Caroline Can.
Thanks, guys. Earlier this week, I got to listen to Ryan Grigson talk about how this is the Employment Bowl, and for him, he's looking at the big picture. We saw it last year when the star player Andrew Luck got hurt. He had to juggle some things around. Look at the bigger picture of bringing guys in to make sure that the Colts were ready to take the field each week. So even though we're looking for week 1 to be ready for that game, for general manager, that never stops. That job for him never stops to make sure that the Colts are ready each week. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Caroline. Caroline has joined the Colts as their media reporter. You can see her work all season long on Colts.com and also on the television outlets. Stephen Ridley will get the first handoff of the game. We'll try to bounce it out to the outside. Won't find very much. Scott Tolzien gets the opportunity as the starting quarterback tonight, and that brings us to our Toyota starting lineups presented by your Central Indiana Toyota dealers. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Colts. Well, it's impossible to predict what the starting lineup is going to be. Chuck told me that we're probably not going to see any of the regular starters. So, who should we be watching for tonight, Rick?
Well, you want to look at Ridley, number 1. I think Tolzien needs to make sure that he ensures the number 2 spot. I'd like to look at Swope. Swope has had a good training camp. He'll get to play the whole time. And of course, Chester Rogers, who's had a really good training camp. These guys are guys that really should make the ball club, but they need to solidify their position.
Ridley with the carry on second down, only gets 1, so 3rd and 5 coming up for Indianapolis. Not expecting any of the starters on offense or defense to go for the Colts tonight. The good news on the injury front, and injuries have been a real concern, there are only 2 or 3 that don't have a real good chance of being back for the opener against Detroit. Robert Turbin is the back here now on 3rd down. Tolzien will go from the gun. Back to pass, throws to his right, and it's caught out of the backfield by Turbin. He tries to dive for the marker and maybe gets a good enough spot that might get him there.
Yeah, Turbin has been really, really solid. Obviously, we're going to be looking at Ridley tonight, but Turbin has been a guy that also has done a good job, Kevin, all summer long in protection. Here he is coming out of the backfield on a little bunch route, beats the linebacker out there, good enough for the first down.
So move the change for Indianapolis. Ridley is back in. We weren't expecting to see either T.Y. Hilton, Dante Moncrief, or Philip Dorsett tonight, so you're going to chance to see Tavon Smith, Chester Rogers, Mikhail McKay, maybe a little bit of Quan Bray on first down. Ridley is stopped by Trevor Roach.
Very solid at the point there by Cincinnati. So now you bring up a 2nd and 10. You know, I always refer to this as a get back down. This is a down you want to get back into, a makeable 3rd down. Quick pass, screen, move the quarterback.
Quan Bray is in the game. He's to the left. Ridley stays in as the back. And Tavon Smith is wide to the right. Swope the tight end in motion. Quick throw over the middle, and that's the other tight end, Chase Kaufman, who makes the catch for a short gain. Not expecting to see Dwayne Allen, probably not Jack Doyle tonight either. Some of these players are dressed. They're there for an emergency purpose.
Yeah, this is a little stick route right here to number 80 to the left. I like Tolzien's quick setup, Kevin, and release really quick. Now, you have a makeable 3rd down at 3rd and 2.
So Ridley stays back with Tolzien. First possession of the game here in Cincinnati.
Work inside on the safety.
Tolzien throws before he's hit, and it's caught by Kaufman for a first down over by the sideline. Nice play. Tolzien stood in there, took the hit, and the Colts get into Cincinnati territory.
This is an excellent job by Scott. Now, he really improved a week ago. You're exactly right. He stayed right in there in the face of that pressure and threw a strike to Kaufman.
27 on the pickup, and the Colts are inside the Cincinnati 30. Kaufman in motion, sets up to the left. Handoff is to Ridley, and he will get a couple before Roach makes another tackle. Cincinnati, by the way, is not playing many of their regulars either. Roach has 5 tackles already on this possession.
Yeah, and the one thing about that running game, it's not there yet, but when you come out and you start throwing the ball as well as he has early, I guarantee you that running game will come to you because they'll be forced to cover. You got to stay with it.
Roach is one of those guys trying to make the squad for the Bengals. He was on the practice squad last year. Swope comes up set to the left, 2 wide out to the right. Ridley is still the back.
Blitz coming.
Tolzien from the gun throws to the right, and it's caught a little bit short of the first down. That is Smith, the rookie out of Iowa, who makes the catch.
Excellent job here. You got a blitz coming off the left, right into his face. Quick release. Good job to Smith out there. And again, you're sitting there in a really good, makeable third down.
Shockey Brown was over there to make the tackle. So from the 20, 3rd and 1 from Indianapolis, for Indianapolis. 10th play of the drive. It's the opening drive of the game. Turbin is the back. Mitchell Van Dyke is an extra tight end. He's an offensive tackle. He's in the game and eligible. It is up the middle, and Turbin is going to have enough for the first down.
And that's what I've liked about Turbin. I really liked about him is he gets that ball north and south. This is a power to the right, and he doesn't hesitate. He starts to look outside, realizes that it's 3rd and 1, and takes it right up north and south.
Turbin's done some nice things in camp, brings some experience, some really good years in Seattle, backing up Marshawn Lynch. Last year was with Cleveland and Dallas. So first down in the red zone now. Turbin again. Gets to the outside.
Oh, hold on.
And did he lose it? He did, and Cincinnati has it.
And you know, this is a lingering problem. Lingering problem is not converting into red zone. Motion over, they got the edge. Excellent cut. Stripped out. Stripped out.
Cincinnati ball when we come back. When it comes to football, we're part of your team. Meijer has everything you need for Colts tailgating, including Indianapolis favorites like team apparel and lucky horseshoes. Meijer, your home store advantage. Well, it's Cincinnati ball now at their 6-yard line with their first opportunity. Pending a quick look at it, but I don't think this is going to be changed. All turnovers and scoring plays are automatically reviewed.
After the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. So a fumble, recovery by the defense, first down.
So Cincinnati gets it. DJ Dawson, by the way, is who recovered the fumble. And A.J. McCarron will start for Cincinnati. Andy Dalton and most, if not all, of the Bengal starters will also take the night off. And like Indianapolis, they've been banged up, especially in the secondary. Both their tight ends are hurt, so they just want to get to the regular season. Trey Carson, a rookie from Texas A&M, is the tailback, and Andrew Bonnet is the upback. It's a quick flare pass over to the left side, and that's James Wright making the catch. And he's down after a short gain. So, again, we're not sure who's starting for either team. But let's look, Rick, at some players to watch from the Colts' perspective on the defensive side.
Well, the first guy is Ridgeway, and the Colts have to get him ready with the injuries they have. Bailey is another guy fighting for a roster spot. Margette is a guy that they like. He hasn't done it in games, but they like him. And then Antonio Morrison has been a hitting machine. You'd like to see him on the ball club.
From the 10, second down, McCarron throws to his right, and it's caught by Carson out of the backfield, and he'll get a first down up near the 20-yard line. Ray Carson is an interesting player, over 2,000 yards rushing in college.
This is a little boot play, and this is what McCarron does best. McCarron is fastly becoming one of the premier backups in the league after his playoff games last year.
And McCarron did a nice job after Andy Dalton went down with a thumb injury. Won 2 of the 3. The only loss was in overtime at Denver, and coulda, shoulda won that playoff game against Pittsburgh. Carson to the outside just a little bit, picking up about 5. Stopped shy of the 25-yard line. Second tackle in a row by Antonio Morrison. One of those guys trying to prove that he deserves to be here.
He really is, and the Colts have got to shore up the edge. Again, that ball pumped to the edge, very critical a week ago, but that's just something that's really got to stop. You got to keep that ball inside. Morrison is a hitting machine.
The Bengals are shorthanded with running backs. Rex Burkhead has been out with a shoulder injury. He's one of their backups. Cedric Pierman, who's more of a special teamer, but he broke his arm last week. Carson straight up the middle. Another first down for Cincinnati. And another tackle for Morrison.
There it is. Starts out as a zone play to the left. Again, McNary took a shot in there, but a big void in there between the nose and the left end. Now that's Kerr and Ridgeway and McGill out there, so that's guys that you're going to count on to play here early, Kevin.
No score, first quarter in Cincinnati. The Colts drove it deep into Cincinnati territory, but turned it over. Now it's the Bengals' first opportunity. And it again is Carson up the middle.
This is excellent play. Actually, McGill started it. McGill gets penetration up into the backfield, forces the drastic cut, and then McNary's able to finish it. Here you'll see it. McGill is up into that backfield right now. See, he forces the cut. Then McNary hits that A gap just like he's supposed to. McGill is always in the middle of something, and it's usually good.
He's got one of the few sacks on the preseason for the Colts. Couple of quarterback hits. Second down and 10. McCarron over the middle. Short gainer is turning into a big gainer. That's Cody Core making the catch. He's their leading receiver, 111 yards receiving in the preseason coming in, and he comes up with a big one there to get it into Colts territory.
A quick hook, quick rhythm pass. He beats Mitchell. Again, we know we have issues at corner, and they're propping up again this week. We got these young kids out there with no experience, and again, they're going to capitalize right away.
Bronson Hill is the back now in the game, first-year player from Eastern Michigan. McCarron from the gun after the pickup of 24 on that last play, and he's going deep again down the left sideline, too far in front of rookie Tyler Boyd, their second-round pick out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Boyd has had a really good camp, and that's a really good sign for Glover Wright. He's a kid that's actually flashed some pretty good football, and he's very much in the picture with the corner muddled as it is right now. He probably would be the leading candidate of all those guys to get a roster spot if some of those guys have to be let go.
And there might be some opportunities even for some short-term employment. The Colts are going to have to try to field a team in week one. The status of several is uncertain. Vontae Davis most likely out. Some others questionable right now. Second down, slant over the middle is a little bit too far in front of Cody Core, the rookie out of Mississippi. Incomplete. Third down coming.
That was another good coverage. Another good coverage by Wright, though. First they went on the go route. Now they came on the slant. He got a good jam. He was all over him. So, again, you're exactly right, Kevin. The corner thing is muddled. So, a kid could win a job here tonight.
Bronson Hill is back in as the back. Third down. One of those over there wide to the left is Alex Erickson. It looks like he's made the team as a returner and has already scored a couple of touchdowns in the passing game as well, and he's had big-time returns. He's over in the left slot. McCarron back to pass, lots of time, flushed out a little bit, being chased, and he will have to throw it away. So after a big play, the Colts defense comes up with a stand. Kelsey Quarles over there forcing McCarron out of the pocket.
And the thing that was really good there was really good coverage in the back end. You know, we're battling up front. He starts to move the edge. There's Margit, and then Quarles coming in there late. Excellent coverage there in the back end. There was no place to go.
Kevin Huber into punt for Cincinnati, and that's Chester Rogers back for Indianapolis. Standing inside his 10, and he is going to let this one bounce over and roll into the end zone. Touchback, the Colts will get it for the second opportunity coming up. 4:57 to play in quarter number 1 in the preseason finale from Cincinnati. When the Colts score, the kids win. Speedway will donate $1,000 to Riley Children's Foundation for every Colts touchdown pass this season. Speedway, the official convenience store of the Colts. Rick Venturi, I'm Kevin Lee in Cincinnati. Scoreless in the first quarter. Second opportunity for the Colts. Andrew Luck and others watching tonight. They're ready to go for the regular season. Coming up for the Colts against Detroit at Lucas Oil on September 11th at 4:25. Chance for many to show they deserve a spot on the team here tonight. Tolzien starting from the 20. Stephen Ridley gets the handoff up the middle for just a couple before he's stacked up. Let's head back down to the sidelines for another Toyota sideline report with Caroline Can.
You're seeing it happen on both sides of the ball, but as soon as the offense came off the field on the last drive, it was immediately the starters, Ryan Kelly, Anthony Costanzo, meeting those guys immediately, telling them of corrections, telling them kind of what's happening and doing all those things. You're seeing it right now on the defensive side. They're huddling around the benches, letting those guys know, here's what I saw, here's what you can do better. Always continue to get better and getting ready for week 1 when the real bullets start to fly back to you guys in the booth.
Starters may not be playing tonight, but they're still expected to try to learn something, to be engaged, and help out the younger players when they can. Ridley on second down finds a little bit of room. Not enough for a first down, but as you said, Rick, a more manageable third down coming.
Much more manageable third down. As long as you're in that 3rd and 5 area, you're really in good shape. And actually, we're a little bit better than that, 3rd and 2. So that's where you want to be. Pound it out a little bit, see what he can do. You gotta come out of tonight and find out what he can do, to be honest with you. I thought that was a real cohesive defensive series. They bent a little bit, but they played good coverage at the end of the series.
Tolzien on 3rd and 2 from the Colts 28. Robert Turbin in the backfield, now split out wide to the right. Trips to the left in the slot, 2 to the right. On 3rd and short, Tolzien back to pass. Pump fake, throws to the right side, and it's a little bit too tall for 6'5" Mikhail McKay, and the Colts will have to punt.
Yeah, what they try to do is they try to isolate in the spread. They try to isolate McKay on the inside receiver. he got jammed up really good. He's got to get off that press. At 3rd and 2, you've got to read that and make a quick out and get that ball thrown quickly. That's on the receiver.
Pat McAfee standing back at his 12, and we'll get a chance to look at Alex Erickson, rookie from Wisconsin.
He's had a great camp as a return guy.
He has returned a punt for a touchdown. He'll field this one at his 15, make a cut. Now cuts it back up to the middle, and a nice return, getting it to the 27-yard line. So Erickson continues to do well. Looks like he's locked up a roster spot. Possession number 2 for Cincinnati coming up in a scoreless first quarter. Coming soon, Arby's collectible Colts glasses are back. Starting September 12th, head into your local Arby's and collect glasses featuring 2 new Colts players every 2 weeks for $3.99. Scoreless in the first quarter in Cincinnati of the preseason finale. Second opportunity for the Bengals coming up. They start from their 28-yard line with the former Heisman runner-up, A.J. McCarron. Did a really nice job in relief of Andy Dalton at the end of last season. A lot of people are talking about him as someone, will you trade him for teams that need a starter? Here on first down, he dumps it off to the fullback, Andrew Bonnet, out of the backfield for first down yardage over on the right sideline. Edwin Jackson knocked him out.
Yeah, and Edwin is a guy that has a lot of ability. He really runs to the ball. He's a little bit like Morrison. He's got to hone up his coverage skills. They beat him right there. He takes the run fake, and they get out in the flat. And that's the critical element with a young linebacker. You know, we know they can play the run. Can they play the pass?
Bronson Hill is now in as the back, the deep back, and he's going to get it. Off left tackle, finds some running room.
You have the 2 young linebackers in there, Morrison and Edwin Jackson in there right now. Both of them very active, and as I said before, the key is, can they cover? Also, Kevin, we've got Art Jones in there now on the left side.
Important for him to see some time tonight because he's going to be on the shelf serving an NFL-imposed suspension to start the season. So get him as much work as you can. On second down, handoff again to Hill, up the middle. Good stout defense for the Colts.
Very good. And again, that was Arthur. That was Art right there in the middle. Yeah.
Sterling Bailey also in on the play. I mentioned McCarron. Some teams may be asking about him. Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt, and that discussion comes up. But I would think Cincinnati would be asking for an awful lot. You have to love the opportunity. He's established himself as one of the league's better backups.
And there's no question about it. And even though Dalton's been healthy, he did miss the 4 games and the playoffs last year.
And he helped get them there. Got them from 10 to 12 wins and gave them a chance to win in the postseason against Pittsburgh. On the back shoulder, a little bit too far out in front of James Wright, but there is a flag down on the play. Chuck Pagano doesn't look very pleased.
Yeah, it's going to be on Milton, number 40.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 40, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The thing about a corner is you need to get that jam, but you need to get that offhand and now get it off of there. You see what I'm saying? You got to make that. They will be touchy on that play. That was not bad coverage, but you got to get your hands off him once you're out of that bump zone.
We saw James Wright there. One of the concerns for Cincinnati coming in is certainly depth at wide receiver position. Outside of A.J. Green and Brandon LaFell, who we won't see tonight, LaFell came over from New England. Wright's the only other receiver on the roster that's caught an NFL pass, and he's caught only 5. So they are very young at that position. Hill on first down.
Solid. An excellent finish by Morrison. They actually brought a safety blitz with Guy coming off the weak side, but really tough here on the strong side. Excellent by Quarles, and you see 44 finding the ball. 44, very instinctive on the running game. He's got a real feel for it.
Cincinnati young at the receiver position because Marvin Jones has moved on to Detroit. Mohamed Sanu is in Atlanta. They cut Brandon Taint. It was mostly a kick returner last week for Erickson. A quick out pass to Tyler Boyd, one of those rookies. Not enough for the first down, but a short third down coming.
And this is what you see in modern day football so much. You have a stretch play called to the right, but they have a built-in bubble screen, and the Colts loaded the box, so McCarron wisely threw the bubble screen, which we refer to as the smoke play.
Morrison, the 4th-round pick out of Florida for the Colts, has been busy here tonight. That likely is going to be the final play of the first quarter. So Cincinnati on their second possession. The Colts have had it 2 times, and we are still scoreless after 1 quarter. Cutdown day is coming up Saturday, 4 p.m. Who is going to prove they deserve a spot on the roster? Still 3 quarters to make your mark coming up here in Cincinnati. Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Tailgate Tent across the street just north of the stadium for pregame fun and $3 Bud Lights. Make the Bud Light Tent your place before the game. Ready for quarter number 2 in the The Indianapolis Colts and Anthem Angels have teamed up to honor those who are making a difference off the field. And we need your help in finding these hometown heroes. Just go to www.colts.com/anthem/angels to nominate someone you know who is helping others in our community, and we'll recognize a different Anthem Angel at each home game this season. Your big playmaker may be one of them. Early second quarter in Cincinnati. Indianapolis has the ball after the Cincinnati punt deep in their own territory. Josh Ferguson with Scott Tolzien. He's not going to play a whole lot longer. Chuck Pagano said a quarter and a half. He's going to get this opportunity. A quick throw out to the right side to Ferguson, who makes the catch.
And this is what you want to see. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity. He's just running that simple flat route out of the backfield. Again, Tolzien, very decisive. He gets it out there, and you see a little bit of the shake, a little bit of the make you miss that impressed people early. There it is. That's that little spin move right there, getting out of trouble.
Ferguson, undrafted rookie out of Illinois. And he is second in Illini history in all-purpose yards, so he has been able to catch the ball out of the backfield. He gets the handoff this time, gets a yard or two out to the 20, and he's just not been able to find any running room so far. 18 carries for 13 yards total coming in.
Right, and there's a couple guys to keep your eye on tonight from a fan standpoint. Number 63, Blythe, is our rookie 7th round draft pick. And the kid next to him, Kid O'Brien, who, because of the number 65, because of the offensive line issues, he has a shot here to make this ball club. Take a look at those two guys interior-wise.
Kid O'Brien is from Walton, Indiana, Lewis Cass High School. His cousin is Ted Kitchell, the former Indiana basketball legend on the '81 championship team. There's Ferguson wide open on the right side, getting the first down and much more all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to feature him tonight, try to get him the ball in space, see what he can do there. I would have liked to seen him do a little more even with it. This is, again, Tolzien is very, very quick tonight. Very, very reliable. Just tripped up there at the end.
19 on the pickup. Good to see Scott Tolzien get an opportunity tonight for some extended run, try to get in a little bit of rhythm. As we saw last year, a backup quarterback can definitely matter. They kept the Colts in the playoff hunt. Under pressure, he gets it away. Ferguson catches it over the middle. It's a short game, but still made something that could have turned into a negative.
Yeah, very sharp. This is actually, with the exception of the fumble in the red zone, this has been a well-played game. Again, he's looking downfield for the go route to the wideout. Not there, stays poised. What I like about Scott tonight, and I thought he got it as the game went on last week, is he's playing more calm. He's not as frenetic as he was in that opener, and he was early in practice. He looks like he's stabilized quite a bit right now.
McKay is wide to the left. Quan Bray to the right. Ferguson the back. Quick throw, and that's McKay on the diving catch.
And that's just one-on-one out there. This is a form of the back fade. You know, basically he's got press. He's got press coverage. If the corner stays high, which he does, then he's going to sit down. If the corner sinks to the low shoulder, he's going to go deep. That was well executed. And that's all a sense between the quarterback and the wideout.
Probably a big night for McKay. Well, it's a big night certainly because he's trying to make the team, but he went to the University of Cincinnati. He's from Louisville. He's likely got a lot of friends and family here, one of the biggest nights of his life. Timeout on the field.
Well,
3rd and 1.
We've got young receivers battling for those 5th and 6th jobs.
Stay tuned. 3rd and 1 coming up from Cincinnati. Indianapolis and Cincinnati scoreless in the second quarter at Paul Brown Stadium with Rick Venturi and Kevin Lee. And on the sideline with a Toyota sideline report, here's Caroline Can.
So to add to the injury list that the Colts have had this preseason, Tevin Mitchell, a cornerback, is out with a hamstring, and we are told that he will not return to this game. No update on if that will carry into the season, but for this game, he will not return. Back to you guys in the booth.
On 3rd down and 1, Turbin will take it. And he should have enough for the first down there.
He's been our designated short yardage guy. It's unfortunate that fumble is the one thing that has marred his summer.
Gets it out to midfield. Caroline mentioned Tevin Mitchell. He has been trying to stay healthy, so very unfortunate for him. They like him, but he hasn't been able to stay on the field enough. Josh Ferguson is in. There's a look at Mitchell on the bike, trying to stay loose. Swope in motion. Tolzien looks one way,
Good
throws
job.
the other, and Ferguson makes the catch, but he's going to lose a yard or so.
Actually, good job by Tolzien, though. He wanted the receiver down at the bottom of the field. Wasn't there. You saw him go in through his progression back to the check down. He's definitely looking outside, not there. Foot moving, nice little drop off.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, so no loss on the play, so still at midfield. 2nd down coming up for Tolzien and the Colts.
What you want to see is a shot here pretty soon. You got Bray one-on-one out here on this corner.
Looks that way, throws back to the left. Ferguson catches it out of the backfield, looks for some blockers, and he'll get about 5 pushed out of bounds shy of the 45 in Cincinnati territory.
Colts are doing a better job tonight. This is a screen pass, so they're coming in. There's the pressure, nice dump off. Again, you got pressure off the right. You can't let that go that much. On the screen was to the left. The right side has to stay firm. But the Colts are doing a better job on 2nd down, at least getting back into a makeable 3rd down.
3rd and 6 from the Cincinnati 46. Tolzien with time over the middle. That's caught by Chester Rogers, but not enough for the first down.
Yeah, Cincinnati comes with the double A-gap blitz. They got those linebackers blitzing. He's coming across on the drive route, you know, and again, they kind of lucked into it. Actually, his guy was beat. The other guy fell off and made the tackle.
Clayton Fedulum, a rookie 7th-round pick out of Illinois, with a nice stop. Alex Erickson is back to receive the Pat McAfee punt. Erickson is standing inside his 10. McAfee will try to hang him to the corner. Fair catch called by Erickson, and he'll make it inside his 10-yard line at the 7. So tough field position coming up for Cincinnati. They get another opportunity. No one on the board so far in the preseason finale in Cincy. Colts have had it 3 times. Third opportunity now for the Cincinnati Bengals at Paul Brown Stadium with Rick Venturi and Caroline Cann. I'm Kevin Lee. Scoreless in the preseason finale. It's time now for the Forum Credit Union question of the game. Rick, hang on to your answer. This is what we call a tease. Which 2 current teammates lead the NFL in combined sacks? You know that combination resided in Indianapolis for many years, but Dwight Freeney isn't here anymore. We'll find out the answer coming up in a few minutes. Cincinnati starting from their 7. Trey Carson is there standing at the goal line, and he will get it on first down. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Josh McNary, Trevor Bates, there to make the stop.
I think this second unit on defense, they bent a little bit, but they played very, very cohesive. Here's a situation on 2nd and long. You'd like to get after him. They're probably going to throw the football. You'd like to get after him and maybe force some action.
A.J. McCarron is still the quarterback. Completed 29 of 43 passes coming into this game. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Quarterback rating over for 113. He's back to pass.
There's the blitz.
Running in his end zone. Carson out of the backfield is going to find something out of it. And he's going to get a first down, a broken tackle or 2, and out to the 20, maybe 21-yard line.
Yeah, and they came with 5, so it looks to me like an inside linebacker blew the coverage again. Yeah, that's McNary. See, it's a little bit of a slip screen. McNary sees a guy block and starts to back up, and that's just enough to give him the edge out there. Hug him up on blitzes.
15 on the pickup. And they will give him the 24-yard line. Carson stays in the game as the deep back. McCarron is over center. Play action, some pressure, and through the hands of Carson, incomplete.
Excellent pressure by O'Kine off the edge. Really forced him out of there right now. I just like to see the linebackers tighten their coverage. This is Earl off the left side. He's been the best consistent outside rusher this summer.
He is a great story from the CFL, the Arena Football League, the FXFL, and with the Colts on the practice squad and played 5 games last year.
He's a traveling man.
You got to do it. Sometimes perseverance pays off. You see that all the time. Guys that bounce around for 3 or 4 years and eventually have a career out of it. Boyd can't handle this pass. It's out of his reach.
This was a good job by William Guy. He sees it right now. They're going to, again, this is a hot, and you see Guy right up there, right in his face. He bluffed him into that. He made him feel like they were light on the outside, came up at the last minute.
10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That was a good play by Guy.
The penalty, it'll be 3rd down.
And what you didn't hear Walt Anderson say is that the Colts have declined the penalty to bring up 3rd and 10. That's what was coming up.
Here's where you want to stop right here. You want to get after him, get him backed up back in here and tilt the field.
Cincinnati 0 of 2 on 3rd down so far. Bronson Hill is the back. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun.
Here comes pressure.
McCarron.
Here comes blitz.
And in trouble, and he is going down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Flag down too. Hassan Ridgeway, rookie from Texas. 4th round pick is back there, but what will the flag be?
Personal foul, face mask, number 95, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Earl O'Kine. So wipe out the sack and give Cincinnati a 1st down from 4th and about 15 to 1st and 10.
There he is up on the left on number 72. It's not much. Oh, no. He's grabbed it with his left hand. That's ridiculous. You talk about costing us a bad situation. We got him backed up, ready to go.
Instead, Cincinnati has it 1st down from their 39 in a scoreless 1st half. Trying to bounce it to the outside is Hill. He'll make one man miss and get something out of very little. Got about 6 on the play before Tay Glover Wright, the first-year player from Utah State.
Yeah, the Colts slant inside. They open up a hole. Here's Guy in the hole. He's got to make that tackle. That's a miss by Guy right there. After he makes a good play, turns around and makes a bad play. But that's inexcusable, that 3rd and 12 back in there, backed up in their own territory. You can't do that.
2nd and 4 from their 45. High formation. Hill straight up the gut, runs into a wall.
Good solid job up front, really is.
Kurt Majit, rookie from Tennessee, who has been impressive in preseason, one of those in on the play.
The other guy is that's being a little assertive tonight is Bates, number 50. You know, and these are guys they really counted on, Majit and Bates. And this is their night to show us what they can do. We haven't really seen it. We want to see it tonight.
Bates, the 7th round pick out of Maine, had 19 sacks in college. Trey Carson is the back. 3rd down and 1, just shy of midfield. The tight formation and a nice stop. As that Quarles in there and the ball is loose and the Colts look like they have it. Ron Thompson comes up with the ball and the Colts have it. They not only get the stop on 3rd and short, they first a turnover for good field position.
That is firm up front. That is Quarles busting through, Majid on the outside. That's great football right there.
Quarles forces it. Ron Thompson, rookie from Syracuse, recovers, and Indianapolis has it for their 4th opportunity inside Cincinnati territory. Scoreless so far in the preseason finale in Cincinnati in the 2nd quarter. Rick Venturi and Kevin Lee. Let's revisit our Forum Credit Union question of the game. We've had some time to think about it. Which 2 current teammates lead the NFL in combined sacks? There's a hint. That was a pretty good guess that Robert Mathis could be involved with 118 career. The other is not a longtime Colts. It's Trent Cole, who is from nearby Xenia, Ohio, and went to Cincinnati. The 2-time Pro Bowler who joined the Colts last year has 88.5 career sacks. He is 2nd in Eagles history to the great Reggie White's. Colts take over now again, and Stephen Ridley with the carry. By the way, Forum Credit Union helping members live their financial dreams. Thanks to them providing us with some thinking material tonight. There's Stephen Morris in the game after Scott Dolcine finishes up a nice night of work. Morris, the first-year player from Miami, has been pretty impressive so far this season. He's got some good work in the preseason. 19 of 31, 61% completions, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks so far. He is back to pass now on 2nd down with all kinds of time. He is going to loft one down the right side, well out of bounds. Quan Bray was the closest over there.
Yeah, they wanted to take a shot to Bray. This is a classic double move, but the corner didn't bite. There wasn't a check down available, so good job by Morris just to get rid of it and stay out of a bad play. Keeps himself in a very manageable 3rd down. He wanted Bray all the way deep there.
Rick, what have you seen so far from Morris in this preseason?
I have really enjoyed watching him play. I think he's been steady. I think he's got a really good arm. I think he has a terrific future. I honestly do. Right here, you got Smith in the slot.
3rd and 4 on the gun.
Little option route.
He's looking over the middle, and that's a nice grab by Chester Rogers. Close to the marker.
This is a little arrow route right here by Rogers on the in route right here. Again, nice throw and catch.
And that is enough for the first down.
Rogers just, continues to do good things. I mean, in my opinion, unless they go and make a move, he's played himself into the 4th position.
We know the 3, Hilton, Moncrief, and Dorsett. Then it's Quan Bray is very likely to make the team because he's the #1 returner. And then is it Rogers or Smith or maybe McKay? And I think you're probably right about Rogers seeming most likely. Flag and whistle will blow this one dead before it gets going.
Just to go back to the defense for a second, I was really impressed with the defense coming back after a really bad play on that 3rd and long, coming right back and playing a great series mentally and ended up getting that turnover. That was impressive.
Adam Redmond, the rookie from Harvard, from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, called for that false start. It's up near the Toledo area. I mentioned Scott Tolzien had a nice night's work, almost perfect statistically in the passing department. 11 of 12, 88 yards. And now it's going to be Stephen Morris the rest of the way. First down at 15. Morris rolling out to the right, gets the tight end Swope. He gets some of that yardage back.
Also, Morris does a good job on his feet. Excellent. And this is what Swope has continued to do. This is just a little what we call a swap bootleg. Basically, Swope sneaks out from left to right, little bootleg with a run fake, and you always look to that guy first.
Timeout on the field. Indianapolis driving, someone trying to get on the board in the preseason finale. 3:01 to play in the first half. When it comes to football, we're part of your team. Meijer has everything you need for Colts tailgating, including Indianapolis favorites like team apparel and lucky horseshoes. Meijer, your home store advantage. Rick Venturi, Caroline Can on the sideline, and Kevin Lee. No score here in the preseason finale in Cincinnati, getting close to halftime, but a good opportunity here for the Colts. 2nd and 9 for Stephen Morris, the second quarterback of the game for Indianapolis, replacing Scott Tolzien. He'll throw it over the middle to the tight end, Eric Swope. Never played organized football before he became a pro.
Yeah, he's come really good. This, again, is a little what we call stick route. Just go down, stick it out, basically against zone defense. And Stephen, again, very smooth, never lets him see him sweat, gets that ball out there on time, bang, just move the chains. And Swope has really looked like an NFL receiver. You know, whether or not he's a great blocker is not really a factor right now because he will be the hybrid tight end.
6'5", 257, played college basketball at Miami, practice squad last year, trying to make the active roster this year. Morris to his left is going to dive and coughs up the ball. Was he already down? It looks like Cincinnati might have it. They think they do. Down by contact.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've seen a zone read. This was a true read run. We haven't seen that around here because you're not going to expose Andrew to that kind of action, but that's the other kinds of things that this kid can do.
Clearly down. Indianapolis will keep it. We've hit the 2-minute warning. The Colts trying to get on the board before the break here in Cincinnati.
All right, here you go. Take a look at these two guys on the right of your screen, the defensive guys, and watch Stephen Morris. This is going to be a fake. Actually, it's a run. He reads those two guys go down. He pulls it. That's what we refer to as the zone read, which popularizes college football. And a few guys run it in pro football, and it can be very, very tough on the defense.
2 minutes to play in the first half in Cincinnati. After that 5-yard run by Morris, he was down before the ball came loose. The Colts have it with a good opportunity to score. They did get it in the red zone on their first possession. Robert Turbin fumbled at the 6-yard line. He's the back right now.
Blitz coming all the way.
Here it comes. Morris will get it away. It's a low pass. It's picked up by Chester Rogers for a short gain, setting up third down and about 2 or 3.
This is a zero blitz. That means everybody's coming, zero coverage. You know, basically good job by Morris. He's got to get it up. He's got to get it out quickly. Plenty of time here. Plus you have all your timeouts. Be smart, protect. This is heavy blitz area.
Colts are 6 of 8 on third down conversions. They have a 3rd and 3 here. Morris from the gun, over the middle, caught near the marker by Quan Bray. He needs the 17, and with forward motion, he should be there.
This is another little 3rd and short route. They create a bunch right there, and they make what we call a little snag, which is a really short hook. And within that bunch, it's hard to cover. Plenty of time at 57, plenty of time.
Excuse me, Rick. Trevor Roach made that tackle. He's already got 10 of them here in the first half. Morris back to pass, throws it up, and throws it out of play, incomplete. Second down coming with 47 seconds to play in the half.
Again, that was a screen They played the heck out of it. They had it overplayed. So you don't want a bad play here in the red zone. Just get rid of it. Red zone has been our Waterloo, including that first drive where we look so good and we fumble. But we've got to get the ball inside the 20. We're allergic to that red zone inside the 20.
10th play of the drive coming up for Chuck Pagano and company. Turbin the back. Stephen Morris.
Safety's walking up pretty close. I think they're going to cover.
Morris from the gun. Here comes pressure. He steps up. Flag is down, and it's through the hands of Turbin. Incomplete.
That looks like a hold. See that?
Holding, number 62, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Like I said, we're allergic to that end zone.
We're going to see the rookie Raven Clark playing right tackle again tonight. The
guy beat him, powered him to the inside, and then he made the critical error. If you place that hand on a guy's back, they're going to call it. He's got to anchor up. He just doesn't have the strength. He's going to get it someday. Right now, he really struggles with power and inside stuff.
It has been a steep learning curve for the third-round pick from Texas Tech. They knew it was going to be a little bit of a project, but because of some injuries, he's been asked to step up and play a more frontline position. On second down and long, over the middle to get some of it back, and Rogers makes the catch, still not back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's looking downfield at the seam with the slot underneath there. Seam's not there. He goes to the next guy. He gets it back down, stays positive. You got to really third and long. If nothing else, you got to get out of here with the 3.
Chester Rogers made his 4th catch of the game. Indianapolis used their first timeout. They still have 2 remaining and 36 seconds remaining in the first half. The Colts fans, Wix Sugar Cream Pies are now available at Lucas Oil Stadium. Be sure you pick up your own 4-inch Wix pie today. I know that it doesn't ultimately matter that much whether you win or lose a preseason game. That said, for the people competing, if you've ever competed and they keep score, even when they don't keep score, you want to beat the other guy. This does mean something to these people.
And this is your resume. What you do out here is your resume as a football player. You can't spin it. You have to play it.
Morris on third down over the middle, and it's picked off. Picked off inside the 5-yard line. It's Nick Vigil on the interception for Cincinnati, thwarting an Indianapolis scoring opportunity late in the first half.
And a play like that will erase all the good things. He forced the seam. If nothing else, you take 3. Take the check down to Turbin. He played at Vigil. That kid is a top. He's a top draft choice for them. They liked him. He made a heck of a play getting up. But again, you cannot give it away in a red zone. We've given it away twice now tonight.
Vigil, a 3rd-round pick this year, rookie from Utah State. Even if it gets by him, it's going to be very difficult to get it to Chase Coughlin. There was double coverage beyond that.
All the way.
Yep.
Yeah, very much so. So again, we've self-destructed in the red zone. Now, that's got to be a mission. We have 10 days. We get ready for Detroit, and hopefully the law of averages will go on ahead and play out. But again, this league is all about getting touchdowns in the red zone. So
the Colts Books for Youth program, presented by Cargo Services, helps provide Indiana foster children with backpacks filled with 25 age-appropriate books. To date, more than 800,000 books have been collected and more than 8,000 backpacks distributed. If you'd like to help Indiana foster kids and donate to Books for Youth, text BOOKS to 243-725 or check out Colts.com/books for youth for more information. I can understand Stephen Morris forcing the issue a little bit. His situation is, the common perception is that Scott Tolzien's going to be the backup. So he's trying to prove that he can displace him and make this team, or if he doesn't make this team, get picked up by somebody else.
And he just clouded the issue.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. He's trying to make a play, and ultimately conceding would have been a little bit a better option, and taking 3. Well, for Cincinnati, we're going to see Keith Winning here coming up in just a moment. First-year player from Ball State. He's from Coldwater, Ohio. He had a great career at Ball State. threw for over 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, and a 10-3 season as a senior. He's been on the practice squad with Baltimore, last year practice squad with Cincinnati, on the active roster at the very end of the season. And we'll see him in the second half. He's just going to take the knee here to run out the clock in the first half. So, after 30 minutes, Rick, we are where we started. No score.
Well, we really are. You know, on the good side of it, it's been excellent defense. I thought Morrison has really stood out on offense. I thought Tolzien was very, very solid. And the bad thing, red zone penalties.
All right, let's go down to the field in Caroline.
Coach, you always say it's the next man up. Are you happy with what you're seeing with your backups right now?
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a nice job. We moved the ball, and we've had 2 red zone turnovers, and the defense is playing well.
What are you wanting to see them come out and make adjustments immediately in?
Well, we just got to finish. We've done it all preseason. We've moved the ball, and then we shot ourselves in the foot. So we got to eliminate the penalties and take care of the football and put some points on the board.
Great. Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Caroline. Still an opportunity to finish the preseason 500, take a little bit of momentum, if it matters, into the regular season. But most importantly, players trying to prove they deserve a spot in the NFL. Halftime from Cincinnati, scoreless.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, where we are still scoreless at halftime. But if you ask Andrew Luck that, he will say that being scoreless will not happen a lot for the Colts this year. He was quoted earlier this week saying that this offense has the potential to score a lot of points. And then I went and asked some of the guys in the locker room that same question, and he is not alone in that thinking.
A lot. I mean, we got guys who can make plays down the field, deep threats. You know, we have a lot of plays coming across the middle, a lot of pick routes and stuff like that to get guys open. And when you have a good running game, those open up, especially with the play action. You can get guys down the field. And then when you get guys down the field, obviously the defense is now backing up, which now opens up the run game for us. And so it works together. And if we can just continue to execute, continue to get better, and really work on one accord, this offense can do a lot of great things this year.
The big plays. It's going to be a lot of big plays. Receiver room, tight end room, running back room. There's going to be a lot of big plays. Like I said, there's a lot of playmakers on this team, and he know what we can do, and we do it every day. So it's just trying to make those plays out there on field.
With the preseason almost over, we get to see those starters next week and that offense back in action. We will be back with football after the break.
Halftime at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati for the preseason finale, and the Colts and Bengals are scoreless. Rick Venturi, I'm Kevin Lee. It's time for the CDW Halftime Stats, where we take you inside the numbers, courtesy of CDW, people who get it. What stands out, Rick?
Well, a couple of things, and these are critical stats. First of all, the 7 for 10, tells you the kind of night Tolzien has had, and you mentioned that. And then the other thing is the 18:06 time of possession. This has again, and we've had this happen before, it really was against Baltimore, is we really have dominated the football and failed in the red zone. So, I mean, that's the fixable part. But this is pretty good numbers. You got 119 passing to 72. We've played good defense. I think some things I like was also the play of Swope and Rogers, two young kids on the offense.
2 turnovers for the Colts, both inside the 10. It's time now to review a great route, courtesy of Allegiant Air. Rick, we're going to take a look at Scott Tolzien's final drive of the game tonight.
And this was a lot of patience. Most of these are to Ferguson, either into the flat or into the check down. And the good news about Scott, he did it with some pressure in his face. I mean, it wasn't always clean. And then he comes with the screen pass. So Very good utilization of all your receivers tonight. Tight ends, a lot of throws to tight ends to running backs. And so really the next phase, and I think that'll be Detroit, is we'll take some shots on the outside.
That great route was presented by Allegiant Air. With 9 nonstop flight destinations from Indy, get the best travel deals only at Allegiant.com. 30 minutes of preseason football remaining. Roster spots still available. Stay with us.
Colts preseason football. Colts preseason football is brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. And by Kittles. Kittles and the Colts, your home teams.
Ready for half number 2 of the preseason finale in Cincinnati with Rick Venturi, Caroline Ken. I'm Kevin Lee. Scoreless first half between the Colts and Bengals. Cincinnati deferred after winning the toss. They'll get it to start the second half with Pat McAfee kicking off. And Tony McRae is one of those back deep, coming 5 yards out, straight up the middle. It's McRae to the 25 and tripped up at the 30-yard line.
Got a little seam here on the left side. And this is something I think we do have to clean up. You know, like I said in the opener, we have great kickers, but we got to make sure that our coverage teams are up to the challenge.
Tony McRae is a rookie cornerback from North Carolina A&T, his first return opportunity here in the preseason. Ball State's Keith Winning is now in as quarterback. He took the kneel down to end the first half. He'll get an opportunity to see if he can make the team and get some good tape on film to start things off. He goes to Alex Erickson here on first down, who takes a big shot It's incomplete.
He took a big shot from the hitman, number 44. Coverage on the outside by Bates, but watch Morrison put the lead to him.
Oh.
We call that a no-fly zone right there.
Antonio Morrison came in leading the Colts in preseason tackles, and he's put up a bundle again here tonight. 4-year starter at Florida. He's been impressive in the preseason. Winning, hit hard before he unleashes deep down the sideline, and a great grab, but I think it's out of bounds for Jake Kumaro. It was out of bounds, incomplete, and Winning got laid out by T.Y. McGill.
This is McGill just continuing to validate himself. Arm over move, boom, excellent hit. I'll tell you what's encouraging about that, we talk about physical football, that's two guys that come to hunt tonight, 99 and 44, Morrison and McGill, and that is beautiful to watch.
So timeout on the field for the injury for Bengals quarterback Keith Winning. We'll get an update and more when we come back in Cincinnati. Back in Cincinnati, where Keith Winning has walked off the field under his own power after a mighty hit from T.Y. McGill just a moment ago. Let's listen.
This is what we talk about, quick twitch and quick acceleration. I mean, just perfect. Listen to it. Oh.
Winning is up and on the sideline. Maybe we see him again. He certainly is at least going to need a moment. So A.J. McCarron forced to come back in the game after he thought his night was done. And he'll hit Kumaro over the middle for a first down. Kumaro, first-year player from Wisconsin Whitewater. Started his career at Illinois before he transferred to the D3 school.
Yeah, really nice slant inside on Glover right. And again, that's the inconsistency of those young kids right there.
Nice relief appearance for A.J. McCarron, who again hopes his night is done. Good throw there, and then good to see Winning okay. He's back on the field and inside Indianapolis territory. He's going to hand it to Bronson Hill, trying to get to the outside, and he'll get it to the 42-yard line before he's wrapped up.
A little bit better on the edge, a little bit more solid on the edge. There you see Bates. He's got to hold it more. Good job by McNary in pursuit.
Bronson Hill gets 5 to get it to the Indianapolis 42. Still scoreless here, early third quarter. The Colts have come closest. They've got it into the red zone 2 times. A fumble inside the 10 and an interception inside the 10 at the end of the first half. The result of those plays. Winning will dump it off, and it's a little bit too high for Hill. Incomplete.
Nice job by Bates, though. They had the screen on. They didn't expect Bates to come underneath. He came inside and made it next to impossible for Winning to get that ball out. Good job by number 50.
Winning so far in the preseason, 9 of 19, 62 yards, an interception. He has run for 28 yards on 3 carries and a touchdown.
I think the Colts will be happy with Bates tonight. This is This is the first time I've seen Bates actually assert himself both on the outside and in the second level.
And now Cincinnati's going to have to burn a timeout. Play clock was getting away from them. They'll use their first here of the second half.
The play clock is 25 seconds.
So they've determined that play clock was not correct, so the Bengals will not have to burn a timeout. Reset to 25, as we heard the tail end of Walt Anderson telling us. So the Bengals will reset from the Indianapolis 42. Third down coming up for Keith Winning. Hill is the running back, offset to the right. Winning is back to pass, throws to the right, caught for the first down, and much more. It's Kumaro again, down to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, we just got issues. This is Milton now on the other side, and they're working him out on the inside moves. We're just, at corner right now, we're just really struggling. He has a good jam, and then he gets up too high on top and lets him go under, lets Kumaro underneath.
Safety Alden Darby made the tackle. He was cut last week, and because of injuries, he was re-signed a few days ago, so an extra opportunity. Over on the right side, running room for Bronson Hill down the sideline, inside the 10, inside the 5 before he's pushed out of bounds, and the Bengals have it first and goal.
Yeah, we got movement on the right side. The ball cracks between the corner and the outside backer. They get a good crack on Margit. There's the seam. McNary comes underneath. Morrison can't make the play. Boom, right down the field. As Coach Lombardi said, that one went in the alley.
21 on the pickup, and spot the ball first and goal at the Indianapolis 3. Cincinnati trying to get on the board first. We're in the third quarter at Paul Brown Stadium. Pitch to Hill. Looks outside, cuts it back inside, and the Colts are there. Morrison again, Hightower and others waiting.
Here's a little toss crack. Now this time we got it pulled up. Good job on the outside, got some inside action. And Hightower, good job, number 38. One thing I'm going to say about Hightower is he has been a tough hombre. Now you're looking at pass. Once they fail on first down in the red zone, it's going up.
McNary with good contain there on the left edge as well to force it back inside. Second and goal just inside the 5. Winning to the end zone. Too far, out of the reach, out of bounds. Kumaro was the intended receiver.
Good job by Frankie Williams and Glover Wright over here on the right side. Basically, they got in a slot. They're trying to get him on the fade. Trying to get Glover Wright on the fade. He pushes the receiver basically out of bounds. Nice job. Nice job.
So third and goal now from the 4. Hill is the back. Keith Winning from Ball State is the quarterback, and he'll shovel it inside to Hill, and the Colts are there waiting for that, and they force a fourth down. They get a stop. Art Jones.
Excellent job. Shovel to the right. Good read, good battle here inside. Good job by Art Jones coming around the horn. You see Art right there, and you see Morrison up there trying to hurt somebody.
Kurt Majit also in there, the rookie from Tennessee, undrafted free agent. So that forces a field goal. And Mike Nugent from Centerville, Ohio, in his 12th season, 7th with the Bengals, is in for what should be a chip shot, 21 yards. The placement is down by Huber, and the kick is up and good. And we now have a score. It took into the third quarter, but Cincinnati finds the scoreboard first. Cincinnati 3, Indianapolis nothing. Stay with us. After 2+ quarters in the preseason finale, we now have a score. Cincinnati leading Indianapolis 3-0. And it's time now for the Citizens Energy scoring recap. 11 plays, 67 yards, just over 4 minutes. Big play was a 21-yard run by Bronson Hill to get it to the 3-yard line. First and goal, the Colts stiffened, forced a 21-yard field goal by Mike Nugent. 3-0 for Cincinnati.
Good red zone defense. They did work on our corners there. Eventually, we're going to have to help them out a little bit.
Jordan Todman is back deep. Running back for the Colts will field this one from his 3-yard line up to the 10, 15, straight up the middle. He's got some room and a crease. Breaks through one tackle and all the way out to the 42-yard line. Nice return by Jordan Todman, his third opportunity this season to return a kick in the preseason, and he gives the Colts good field position.
This is really good. Good crack in there. Good job by Jordan at taking it right now, nice north and south. Good blocking in front of him. Jordan really does have good special teams ability on his resume, which is all important when you're not going to be a starter.
Todman in his 4th season, he has bounced around. A 6th-round pick originally in 2011 by San Diego. He's played with the Chargers, the Vikings, Jaguars, the Steelers last year. The 39-yard return sets up good field position for the Colts out of the backfield. This is the tight end Eric Swope making the catch. He's had a productive night here tonight.
Yes, he has, and they've done a good job throwing the ball underneath. They're starting to get a lot of what I call single high press, and so the fade is going to be there on the outside. This is that same play they've run several times tonight. I call it the swap boot because the tight end sneaks out from the backside.
Stephen Ridley, the former New England Patriot that ran for over 1,200 yards in a season a few years ago, signed last week, is back in. And he will get it going left and not find anything. He is dropped by Will Clark for a loss in the backfield. Now let's head to the sideline for a sideline report brought to you by Toyota. Here's Caroline Can.
I am here with DeQuell Jackson. Now, Ted Monachino always talked about how he wanted this defensive group to just be tough. Yeah. How's this preseason been building that character?
Well, it's still a work in progress. It's hard to evaluate all the guys right now because we've had so many guys that were down, some guys stepping up and being in new roles. So collectively, I think we've done a phenomenal job of just communicating well. Guys know where to be. I think it's still a work in progress. It's still early, but I like where we are as a defense.
Now, injuries are always a part of the story, and injuries in any sport, but it seems like you guys have had a list that just keeps on growing. How has that changed this preseason from other preseasons that you've been in?
Yeah, it's an old cliche. Next man up. Coach has preached. He's preached that from day one, and we were dealt a tough hand last year when 12 went down, when Andrew went down. So we're accustomed to it. We're ready for it, and we're ready for the challenge. Anything worth working for isn't easy. So we understand what we have to do. Whether my job as a veteran to lead these young guys, to get them in a routine, to know how to prepare their bodies, prepare their minds mentally for week in and week out. But I love our young guys. I love where their head are. They love football. They're passionate about it, and you can always win. It's a great starting point for us.
Great. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Caroline. The Colts failed on 3rd down, so Pat McAfee's punt to Alex Erickson. He makes one man miss, but only about a 3-yard return. Cincinnati has it, leading 3-0 when we come back. Third quarter, Bengals lead the Colts 3-0. Rick, we talked one of the keys to the game, special teams coverage, a good example of a positive.
Exactly. This is McAfee is incredible. He's the best in the business of angle kicking, and then you see that great coverage down there to go with him. Turns the whole field over.
Cincinnati has it from their 16. Third quarter, leading 3-0. Trey Carson is back in the game. He's had a pretty nice night tonight. He finds some running room out to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, they're starting to pound at us a little bit. We got to short up just a bit.
11 on the play and a first down. Keith Winning is still the quarterback for Cincinnati. Took a big pop from T.Y. McGill. Sat out of play. He's back in. Led them to their only points of the game on a field goal. Here's Carson looking inside, bouncing it outside. Back inside out to the 36-yard line and close to another first down. 9 more for Cincinnati.
That's too easy. Now they're getting after us with basic zone runs. We got to shore this up. Linebackers got to fill it up in there.
Secondary has been depleted by injuries for the Colts, and then several others sitting out, resting precaution with the regular season 10 days away. None of the starters playing tonight for Indianapolis, or none of the planned starters. Another first down on 2nd down and 1 run, straight up the middle, gets it out to the 40. Carson again. Chuck Pagano did say, though, that most of the people that have been sitting because of practice are at least have a really good chance of being ready by the time we get to the regular season. And I don't think Vontae Davis is going to be ready for Detroit. Jack Mewhort is still hoping that he can play. He's not been ruled out at this point. Davis hasn't been ruled out either at this point. Doesn't seem real likely. Some others are a little more iffy, but I think we are going to see some people who have been sitting ready to come back. Erickson.
Another key guy that we haven't talked about much is Langford. Langford could bring so much back to the equation. You're probably going to have to wait a little bit on Anderson just because of the severity, but if you could get at least one cornerback or 2 corners and you get Langford back, that would look very good next Sunday.
You speak of Langford, he's played 128 straight games, and he's still hoping to be there for the regular season opener. And I think he's got a chance from what I hear. Running on 2nd and 5 over the middle. It is caught. That is Matt Lengel, the first-year tight end from Eastern Kentucky. Another Toyota sideline report now. And back to the field with Caroline.
Thanks. I'm here with Dante Moncrief. Now, I've seen it all throughout the time that I've been here, which has just been a very short 2 weeks, but I can already tell that there's a good group of guys in the locker room, and it was even touched on at the luncheon, the kickoff luncheon, that you all get along really well, and there's a good camaraderie among these guys. What has it been like this preseason of kind of getting back in the routine of this season, back with these guys?
I mean, it was just fun to get back together. You can tell it's a close brotherhood in our locker room, and we like to compete against each other, and it's fun. Just being around each other and get back around each other. Camp was big. We were able to get around each other and have fun.
And then when I first got to Indianapolis, I was handed a poster that said, "Feed Moncrief." Now, why would that be something that I got on my first day in Indianapolis?
It's crazy. I mean, it started in college after my sophomore year, so I mean, it just carried on, and I guess that means give me the ball, so hopefully that's coming my way this season.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Dante. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you. Good pressure by Earl Okine with some help, and Winning had to get it away to avoid another big hit. 2nd and 10. Bronson Hill takes this one. Colts will stuff this one.
Yes, we've had a good mix here in the second half. We've had some A-gap blitzes, and then we came from the outside. This is just solid up front. Again, Okine very active. He's, again, as you said, Kevin, good blitz from him and Frankie Williams from the field. Play before forced a bad throw.
Ron Thompson made that last tackle, also has a fumble recovery tonight.
Turn it loose, boys, right here.
3rd down and long, just inside Colts territory. Winning, hit before he throws, and going up to make the catch but did he stay in bounds? Alonzo Russell is forced out. He made the catch, but it's incomplete. Hightower over there knocks him out of bounds.
Terrific pressure. This is a cross dog. Here comes, basically Hightower comes. Excellent job. Good bang. Good job.
It's actually Darby that knocked him out of
on
bounds.
the tackle.
Hightower is the
Hightower
one
on the blitz. Yeah. Jackson cleared the way. Hightower came around the horn.
So now Kevin Huber has to come in to punt, and Chester Rogers is back at his 10-yard line. High, end over end. Rogers will call the fair catch, and he'll make it at the 12. The Colts will start deep in their own territory, trying to get something on the board. 4:32 to play in quarter number 3 in Cincinnati, and the Bengals lead the Colts 3-0. Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open the stadium to the Indianapolis skyline. Proud sponsor of the Indianapolis Colts. With Rick Venturi and Caroline Cann, I'm Kevin Lee at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Deep in the third quarter now on a beautiful, now September night. And Indianapolis trailing Cincinnati 3-0. The Colts have the ball. Starting from their 12-yard line, Stephen Morris remains the quarterback. He's been in since the second quarter, and Jordan Todman gets the handoff and finds a little bit of running room, 5 or 6 yards before Deshaun Williams makes the tackle.
Just a sidebar right here. Again, I want to point out these very important issues. That was an excellent lead block by Swope in the backfield. This is something that's very new to him, and he ended up being the lead blocker. Classically, that's what Jack Doyle does for us. So that's really good to see.
Todman stays in, offset to the right of Morris on 2nd and 5. Morris is back to pass, and this is Swope making the catch for the first down, and out of bounds, out near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, this is, again, very poised by Morris. Drive route underneath. We call that a drive route. Underneath the zone, catch it, get upfield. Again, I think Swope has really validated himself. He was another guy that you had thought he would be on the roster, but he's got to kind of prove it tonight, and I think he's doing that.
17 on the pickup for Swope, 4 catches, 34 yards. That's 9 catches, nearing 100 yards total in the preseason. Todman remains the back.
I think he wants the fade up top.
And Swope offset to the right, blocking this time. That's caught by McKay.
Good job by Morris. I believe that was a check. I think they had a run called. He saw that single high press coverage, knew he had man-to-man. And drive routes are good against man-to-man because the player, you end up running away from the coverage. Checked it off. Good protection by Swope up top.
6 on the pickup. Marquise Flowers makes the tackle. 2nd and 4. Getting deep into the third quarter. Bengals leading 3-0. Todman finds the outside, finds running room into Bengal territory, down the right sideline before he's pushed out of bounds. Big gainer for Jordan Todman and the Colts.
And Jordan is another guy that really is kind of on the edge, but he's done nothing but help himself. This is another play on the edge. He looks quick out there running. He's the guy that busted the screen in the first game. And special teams guy excellence.
24 on the pickup. The Colts have some decisions at running back. We know Frank Gore is going to be there. We think Robert Turbin is going to be there. Is Stephen Ridley showing enough? Todman, the rookie Ferguson, we'll see. Quick pass out to Rodgers, out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Again, Morris has come back from that interception, has been really sharp. And again, another guy that's validated himself again is Rodgers. Those were guys that we pointed out in the beginning of the show that we wanted to see validation, and we're seeing it from Swope. We're seeing it from Rodgers.
Now the challenge the Colts are going to have, they may have to keep one less at certain position groups that are healthy because of other position groups. They're going to have players that make the team on the roster because of short-term injuries.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a minute.
Second down towards the end zone and no one in the neighborhood.
And he learned from that first one. That's the same pattern. He let it go. And you make a good point, Kevin, and that's what's going to be more dicey this year than it's ever been. Normally, your last 3 roster spots, 50 through 53, are fluid. They're actually fluid all season long, and you can keep a guy, you keep an extra quarterback, you can keep a young kid. Because of those injuries, you could go into Detroit next Sunday with basically a 47-man healthy roster, so you don't have much wiggle room. You have very little wiggle room for those late picks.
Well, I mentioned there was no one in the neighborhood for Morris on that pass, and Walt Anderson and the officiating crew noticed that too. They've called Morris for intentional grounding.
Oh my God, you don't see that.
Not too often when you throw it that far down the field.
Downfield on the seam.
Yeah. So now it is...
God.
Just third down.
It's going to be third and, I think, 15, no, 17.
See, we get ourselves in trouble again. We had that penalty on that first red zone drive that got us behind the count.
So pushed all the way back to the 43-yard line. The Colts have knocked on the door a couple of times. Robert Turbin fumbled at the 6 after a nice pickup in the first quarter, and then late in the first half, Morris threw an interception inside the 10-yard line. Cincinnati has the only points of the game on a 21-yard field goal from Mike Nugent. Now the Colts have pushed themselves out of makeable field goal range here. Now Vinatieri might be able to hit it from here. And Pat McAfee will raise his hand and say, I'd like to give it a go, but that'd be a pretty deep one here, 60, 61 yards. Turbin is the back, third in a bunch.
Be patient.
Dumps it over the middle. We'll get some of it back with Turbin and get them back in field goal position if they want to. Let's go look at this intentional grounding one more time. See what you think, Coach.
Looks away. Yeah, I guess.
There's no receiver in the
Plus he got hit on the throw
neighborhood, but there's one a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
You usually can claim, well, we got crossed up a little bit. All right, Vinatieri is in for the field goal. The ball is spotted at the 36, so a 46-yard attempt coming up, and he'll sneak it in through the uprights to tie the game. Adam Vinatieri, the ageless wonder in his 21st season, converts to get the Colts on the board. We're tied at 3 late here in the third quarter. When it comes to football, we're part of your team. Meijer has everything you need for Colts tailgating, including Indianapolis favorites like team apparel and lucky horseshoes. Meijer, your home store advantage. Deep third quarter in Cincinnati. The Colts on the board for the first time have tied the Bengals at 3-3 in the preseason finale. Rick Venturi and Kevin Lee. Time for the Citizens Energy scoring recap. 8 plays, 60 yards, just under 4 minutes. Adam Vinatieri's 46-yard field goal ties the game at 3. Pat McAfee to kick off for the Colts. Bronson Hill and Tony McRae are back deep, and McAfee will boom this one 8 yards deep, but McRae will still bring it out straight up the middle, and he runs into a wall at the 13-yard line. McKay, the wide receiver for the Colts, is one of those on the tackle.
And that's 3. You know, we talked about this at the open. You were gonna have your special teams guys. It was time to play. That's 3 consecutive special teams plays that have really made a difference. The great McAfee punt and coverage, long field goal by Vinatieri, and then excellent coverage on that kickoff to back them up. This is time to win the game right here as you go into the fourth quarter. Back them up, keep them up, force a turnover right here. This is where you get to feel like this is where we've got to have it.
Keith winning in the Bengals starting from their 14, and extra effort by Trey Carson. It looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he'll get 3 or 4 out to the 17 or 18 on the play. I think that was Darby that had a chance at him there in the backfield. 2nd and 6, 4 on the pickup, and the final seconds of the third quarter tick away. So we've played 3. Unlike halftime, we now have a score, but still looking for our first touchdown. The Colts and Bengals even up at 3 with 15 minutes remaining in the preseason. Today's defensive coverage is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We go back to a play here earlier in the second half.
Yeah, this is a cross dog. Here comes 38 in there, tough Hightower, and then on the back end, watch Darby finish it off. Colts are trying to play with physical impact tonight. I like it. I like it a lot. That's something that they've got to achieve, and they've got to be ready for that next Sunday.
Today's defensive coverage presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the coverage you need and stop knocking on wood. We start the fourth quarter in Cincinnati of the preseason finale. Colts and Bengals tied at 3. Cincinnati deep in their own territory, but not anymore. Keith Winning finds Jake Kumaro, and he breaks free for some extra yardage and gets it out close to the 40-yard line.
See, they isolated Darby out here in the spread formation. Colts brought 5 man-to-man coverage, and you know Darby struggles in space. Good finish by Hightower.
Jake Kumaro came in with just 1 catch for 7 yards in the preseason, and he's been active so far tonight. He's had a nice night winning. We'll hand it off this time. It's Trey Carson, not finding much room on the left side. A lot of white shirts there waiting for him. On Thompson again. He's had a nice night tonight.
Yes, he's, again, some of these kids like Bates and Thompson, who the Colts have high hopes for, really have come to play tonight.
A lot of guys worthy of a roster spot. Unfortunately, it's a numbers game. And the Colts have 22 decisions to make by Saturday, and even then, you're not a lock to be on the team. A little bit high over the middle looking for Erickson. A good example of that, we've talked about T.Y. McGill, who's made plays tonight. Remember, a year ago at this time on cutdown day, he wasn't on the Colts roster. He got cut by Seattle. He was signed on the eve of the regular season. Had a little bit of an impact last year. Looks like he might have a bigger impact this year.
Decisions that you make here in the next 10 days, and sometimes they don't even prove themselves over a short term. Sometimes it takes a year or so, but they're very vital to your football team.
3rd down and 10 for Winning and the Bengals in a tie game in the 4th quarter now. Winning has time, throws, and it's caught by Alonzo Russell. Out to the 45-yard line, but he's about a yard short of the first down, so the Colts get a stop and force a punt.
And that's another good play. That's 2 good tackles in a row by former Boilermaker Frankie Williams there at the nickel. Frankie has played very good as the slot corner, and that was 2 consecutive stops in a row by him.
Chester Rogers, the rookie from Grambling State, is back for the Kevin Huber punt. This is a short one. It's going to take a hop, and a flag is also down.
That looks like your 9-iron right there, Kevin. That was a cold bounce right there.
So wait and see what the penalty will be.
It's a funny spot for a foul.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 46. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run, first down.
We still have some work to do there. Way too many penalties in this preseason, and again, it gives you a bad starting spot.
That, by the way, was Adrian Hill, the side judge, who's getting some preseason reps as the referee here tonight. All right, Colts football deep in their own territory in a tie game in the 4th quarter. When the Colts win, you win. Get 50% off your regular menu price online order the day after the Colts win. Log on to papajohns.com and enter promo code COLTS50. 13 minutes to play in the preseason. We think, although it's a tie game right now, Indianapolis and Cincinnati square at 3, and the Colts have it deep in their own territory. First down from the 12. Stephen Morris up the middle. Jordan Todman won't find much running room there. Well, let's find out who Caroline has caught up with now on the Toyota sideline.
I've got TJ Green with me here. Now, this is your first season, but you have played in some big games like a national championship. So tell me, what is the atmosphere like compared to the national championship to now coming here? I know you haven't hit the regular season yet, so you haven't gotten the full experience, but how does it compare?
National championship, this is not even close. Like national championship, it was the biggest game of my life. The fans were wild. I mean, you had fans coming from everywhere. I mean, not even necessarily Alabama fans and Clemson fans. It was just a bunch of college football fans that came out and just showed their appreciation for the game. So when you stepped out on the field, it was just loud. You couldn't even hear yourself speaking. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, once the regular season starts, the fans are going to come. They're going to start support more, and it's going to get wild. But none of that compares to the national championship game. That's like one of the biggest games of my life.
Well, it's nice to know that you've had that experience. You can work through that loud environment and be able to still play. But what's this preseason been like as a rookie of going through training camp?
It's been a learning process for me. I'm just going out there trying to put what I learned in the meeting rooms on the field and on film, and just show these coaches I can go out there and play. Just show them that I can do whatever they need me to do. Go out there and just compete.
And you've gotten an opportunity to really get out there and play, maybe more so than it was originally thought when you first got drafted. What's that experience been like?
It's been great for me. I mean, I'm enjoying every second of it and taking advantage of every opportunity I have. I'm stepping into this role. I'm going full speed ahead. I mean, I'm not slowing down. I'm not taking a backseat to anybody. I'm going to go out there, compete, and go out there and work every day.
Great, thank you, TJ. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you, Caroline. We saw an 11-yard slant pass to McKay, and then Jordan Todman, who fumbled in the red zone earlier, fumbles here, and the Colts do cover it and get it back. So second down and longer now, and Swope with the catch over the middle to get it out to the 35-yard line.
And that's what you like with Morris. I mean, this is an aspirin tablet he throws in here, and he throws it with absolutely ease. Watch that ball come out of his hand. I mean, that's just, I don't know. I really, really like him. I hope they can hang on to him.
And do want to clarify, it was Turbin that fumbled in the first half, not Todman. So I don't want to give him two of them as he tries to make the team here on the final night of the preseason.
And it was a little bit, actually, Kevin, it was a little bit on Morris in that they're running the zone play with the possible zone read. So the quarterback is riding the ball in there like they do in college, and you got to be careful with that. See, now they came back to it and they secured it right there. That was the same play they fumbled on that was run smoothly.
Enough for the first down. Under 10 minutes to play. Tied at 3, a pair of second-half field goals. All the offenses have to show in this preseason finale. Stephen Morris will pitch it. Todman not finding anything. Big hit coming up from the secondary there by the rookie Clayton Fedulum.
They've done a really good job of adjusting to our motion. We're trying to run a toss crack out in here, and they get those guys. That safety's done a really good job.
Began as an NAIA player at St. Xavier in Chicago, and then was a walk-on at Illinois. Clayton Fedulum, 7th-round pick. Loss of 1 on the play.
We got to keep moving. It's second down. That get back down. We got to get it back in here. Possession pass. Be patient. Got plenty of time.
Stephen Ridley is back in the game. Morris will go up top. It's caught by Rodgers. Inside Bengal territory, down to the 16-yard line.
That's like I said, be patient and throw the ball. No, that was a great play. And again, very, very solid. Here comes the double post over the top. Again, Rodgers shows his speed. Excellent throw and catch.
Rodgers just ran right past Darius Hillary.
Rodgers can play. Rodgers has a terrific skill set. He's productive. He's going to be a really fine player, I think, in this league. And I think if Morris gets a chance, I think he will be too.
46 on the play. Hillary on the coverage. His dad, Ira, was a wide receiver here for the Bengals in the late 80s. Ridley with another opportunity. Stuffed that time, trying to go to the right side. Ridley has 9 carries for 13 yards so far tonight. Marcus Hunt on the stop.
Really former high draft pick that they wanted to come on for a long time. you know, he struggled to play with Dunlap and Mike Johnson. But this is a formidable backup line for the Bengals. They're deep in that position.
And Marcus Hunt is from Estonia. He came to the U.S. for track and field at SMU. The program was disbanded. He said, why don't you play football? He's 6'8", nearly 300 pounds, and he was a second-round pick. Out of the backfield, it is dropped by Ridley.
Oh, man. I mean, you're headed for the exits on that.
So that brings us, excuse me, Rick, to third down, 3rd and 12. And third down conversions are brought to you by Huntington Bank. Welcome to the bank that's passionate about doing the right thing. Huntington, the official bank of the Colts. The Colts have been effective tonight on third down. Longer here, though, from the Cincinnati 20. A scoring opportunity. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Ridley is the back. With Stephen Morris,
blitz,
the quarterback. Here it comes.
Morris, go get it. Go get it.
Dump it to the right side, and it's knocked away. Mikhail McKay in the end zone was the intended receiver. And Chalky Brown over there in the coverage for the Bengals.
Yeah, this is just great release. This is just a great play at the end of the down. They've got one more than we've got on a zero blitz. He threw it up. Got his head around at the last second, close to face guarding, but he made a fine play.
We just mentioned 6'8" Marcus Hunt. He was providing the pressure there on Morris. So it's a field goal opportunity now for Adam Vinatieri. 38-yard attempt. McAfee with the hold. Kick is up, and it's good. And with 7:22 to play, we no longer have a tie. Indianapolis is in front of Cincinnati, 6-3 in the preseason finale. Chuck Pagano and the Colts trying to square their preseason record and get ready for the opener against Detroit.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
A pair of Adam Vinatieri field goals late in the third quarter and now midway through the fourth have put the Colts up 6-3 here at Cincinnati in the preseason finale.
Good drive there, Kevin. Good drive.
McAfee will squib this one, and McRae will come up and pick it up at the 6. To the 15, 20. Makes a move to find a little more yardage out to the 28-yard line. Chase Coffin with the special teams coverage. That's going to be one of the interesting things in kickoffs this year. Moving it up 5 yards. A touchback now goes out to the 25. Instead of taking the easy touchback, some teams are thinking, I want to kick it high right to the goal line or maybe even squib it and cover the thing.
Actually, as the preseason has gone on, I've seen more standard kicks. Now, that was the first time we saw a little differentiation tonight. Early, everybody was playing with it.
Cincinnati now trailing 6-3. Trey Carson is the back with Keith Winning the quarterback. And it is Carson around the left side, and he's not going to find anything. All kinds of white shirts there, including Kurt Legit and Edwin Jackson, to make the stop. Back to the sideline for another Toyota Sideline Report with Caroline.
I'm here with Denzel Goodman, who is actually another fellow South Carolinian. So when I moved here, he does have a special place in my heart. And don't tell the other guys, but you are probably my favorite player on the team. But hopefully they won't watch this, you know. But you are a second-year guy now, so this is your second preseason. How has it been going through this a second time around?
This year it was way different. I kind of knew what I was going into. Last year I was very nervous before each game, but this year I was just looking to go into each game and improve on something. So I feel like that was the biggest difference.
And then you were drafted in the 7th round and came in with expectations, and now you're seeing another class come in. So how are you turning around to those guys and now kind of being a veteran to the new guys coming in?
I'm just trying to pass on to them what I had, what I learned my first year, and you know, just listen to the coaches and just don't make the same mistake more than once. So that was really the main thing I took away from last year. I feel like that helped me a lot. So I'm trying to, you know, help those guys out with that.
Now you're moving to a new position. You're lining up at guard and learning that. And I think the last time that you did that was 2010. Is that correct? Yes. So what's that been like? Of it is, you know, your second year, but maybe a different experience. What's that like?
It's been fun. I feel like just kind of like starting over, seeing different things, seeing different people, different body types in there, and everything was a lot faster. But I feel like I kind of caught the learning curve pretty quick. So.
Great. Thank you so much, Denzel. Back to you in the booth.
All right, thank you, Caroline. We saw a screen pass to Carson for 11 for a first down. Then a pass to Matt Lingle, the first-year tight end, for 9, setting up 2nd and 1 for Cincinnati. Just over 5 minutes to play in the preseason and in this game. Indianapolis now in front 6-3. Keith Winning and the Bengals trying to answer. And a nice defensive stand for Indianapolis. That time, that's Earl Okine there, ready to meet Carson in the backfield.
Yeah, we've had some better play on the outside. Again, this is Okine. We've had good play from Bates. We've even seen Ron Thompson. So that's going to create, I think, an interesting decision here, you know, at the low end of that roster on that edge, on those edge players. And those are good problems to have when you're deciding between guys.
Loss of 3 on the play. 3rd down and a short 3 or 4, and it's a slant, and it's a first down and a little bit more. Alex Erickson inside Indianapolis territory, out to the 40. Erickson continues to impress for Cincinnati in the preseason.
This is a 5-man rush. Frankie must hold the inside there. There's no underneath help. You cannot get beat to the outside. That's a rookie error.
Williams Adam, who otherwise has done a lot of nice things here in the preseason for the Colts. Erickson has done great things for Cincinnati and has earned a roster spot. And another nice stand in the backfield. There's Okine again, and also Sterling Bailey in the backfield.
This is a good job by Earl coming right down the line of scrimmage. He had Hightower right behind him. They've been very successful here with that blitz from the edge, from the open field edge.
And that was all Okine again. 2nd and 14 from the Indianapolis 43 after the loss of 4 on the play. Winning with an empty backfield. Was there some movement on the right side there? It looked like it. Aaron Epps is the right tackle over there, a rookie from Louisville.
Neutral zone infraction, number 95, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So Okine of the Colts jumped first and forced Epps to move.
Yeah. Earl's had some good plays, and he's had now 2 critical penalties. And they're really critical here, you know, because you're right down, they're knocking at the door. They're knocking at the door in field goal range. With this game, the way it is, with 3 minutes to go, you've got to play this last 10 yards like they're on the 10-yard line.
If they get to field goal range, I think they should go for it.
I do too. And I think they will.
Here's Winning over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Erickson again. You mentioned Erickson, rookie from Wisconsin. He was a high school quarterback, ran for 3,600 yards, 37 touchdowns, threw for 35-plus touchdowns. There was a walk-on at Wisconsin, and now is going to make the Bengals.
And this, Frankie comes right back and does a really good job on that press coverage on the inside. Got beat once, like to see him, came right back and corrected it.
Carson is the back. 3rd down and 9 from their 38. Winning. Back to pass, pressure, he steps up, rolling to the right, throws deep, and it's caught, a sliding catch, and that's Erickson again to the 16-yard line. 1st down Cincinnati with under 3 minutes left.
Really great job of extending the play by Winning. You got a big rush lane void in there. He comes out of there with poise, and by that time the Colts lose the coverage and zone into back end.
22 on the pickup, Winning now 10 of 18, 118 yards passing. From the 16, 2.5 to play on the preseason. The Bengals trailing 6-3. Winning back to pass, pulls it down, throws it towards the end zone. No one in the neighborhood, incomplete. 2nd down coming up. Cincinnati has all 3 of their timeouts, so do the Colts if they want them. Earl O'Kine with the pressure on Winning. So as a coach, are you thinking about 3 and the risk of playing overtime, or are you just going to go for it? We joke about it, but they have to make some decisions.
For the most part, you don't want to go overtime.
Correct.
You really don't.
They want to start getting ready for the regular season and not risk any more injury. Starters haven't played on either team, so backups have gotten a big long look. Carson will step into the line.
We're going to find out in about 5 seconds.
Yes, we are.
After the next play.
3rd down, one more. 3rd down and 9 from the 15. And we will reach the 2-minute warning. So a big 3rd down coming up for Cincinnati. Would they kick a field goal if they don't convert, or go for it on 4th down? Two minutes to play in the 2016 preseason with Rick Venturi and Kevin Lee. Big play in this game. 3rd and 9 from the Indianapolis 15. The Colts leading Cincinnati 6-3.
This might be a bring the house deal here.
Winning from the gun. most involved, wanting to avoid a field goal in overtime. Let's see what the Bengals will dial up here.
They're coming with everybody. It's 0.
Winning over the middle. It is caught for more, and a touchdown. Alonzo Russell caught it inside the 10, broke a tackle, walked in, and that will settle that. The Bengals go in front with 6 to lead 9-6 with 1:55 left.
Yeah, it's difficult. You got to get a free blitzer when you do 0 blitz. And then it's hard if you don't get there, but you got to take away that inside. There's nobody in there. You got to make them throw to the corner. You got to make them throw the tougher route.
Christopher Milton, the rookie undrafted free agent from Georgia Tech, couldn't hang on to Alonzo Russell, a rookie from Toledo, who scores what could be the game-winning touchdown, certainly the go-ahead touchdown. Nugent is in for the point after to put Cincinnati up 10-6 with 1:55 to play. Keith Winning puts Cincinnati in front with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Alonzo Russell. One more look at it. The Bengals are in front. The Colts get it back coming up next. Under 2 minutes to play in the preseason, the finale in Cincinnati, and the Bengals have gone in front of the Colts 10-6. Time now for the Citizens Energy scoring recap. The Bengals go 11 plays, 73 yards, a couple of big third down conversions. It took 5.5 minutes, and a 15-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and 9 from Keith Winning to Alonzo Russell. And Cincinnati in front 10-6. Nugent bangs the kickoff all the way to the back of the end zone. Chester Rogers will not attempt to return this one. It's time now for Crunching the Numbers, brought to you by Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com. So we're going to look at regular season numbers. And in the last 5 years, look at the Colts' opportunity to win close games. That often determines good team from average teams to bad teams.
And you know what? You just hope that Stephen Morris can keep that tradition going and get us down there in 1:55. He's got all 3 timeouts and keep that tradition going of winning close games.
And what you love to see, there's no field goal in play here.
No field goal in play.
6 or nothing, and you're getting on the bus.
Winner take all.
And go home and get ready for Detroit. But all joking aside, it matters to Stephen Morris. If not here, then somewhere else.
Absolutely. And that was a great series by Winning right there for the ex-Cardinal.
We'll want to remind people that there have been many people affected by severe weather and other disasters in the area, like Kokomo in the Indiana region. And they need your help now to support those impacted by disasters like the Indiana tornadoes. Text Red Cross to 90999 to give $10 to the American Red Cross disaster relief. We've seen a lot of players go up to Kokomo last week right after the tornadoes. Kit Bryant, who you talked about earlier, the offensive lineman from Ball State, is from the area, not far away. I know Pat McAfee is doing a comedy show, I think at the Marat tomorrow night, that's already sold out, and everything is going to benefit those in need. So kudos to the Colts organization, the players, in many cases just on their own, taking it upon themselves to do what they can. But one more opportunity to get some tape and show if there is a place for you here or elsewhere. Talking to Chuck Pagano before the game, he said, well, there are going to be 740 guys on the streets.
On the waiver wire, exactly.
You look at it. As
700 plus, that's exactly.
Batted down, incomplete. On first down, Morris's pass knocked away by Will Clark. And you think about that, if you survive that first cut, all these guys were college stars. 740 guys that are this close to realizing their dream, and tomorrow that will be shattered, but many more will get an opportunity somewhere else, and the practice squad is a great opportunity.
Oh, it's a great opportunity, and there are 300 of those jobs, and as I've mentioned before, those jobs, if you last the whole year on the practice squad, pay upwards of $117,000, which, as I said before, you could graduate from Harvard, Stanford, and not get a first job paying that. So, yeah, pretty high stakes for everybody out here.
Very good entry-level position to be on the practice squad. 3rd and 7 here for Stephen Morris and the Colts. He'll throw it deep down the right side.
He got it.
And did McKay get his feet in?
Please get him in.
McKay with a nice grab. Is he inbound? Yes, he is. Move the chains. The Colts still have life with 1:20 left.
That guy just throws it easy, man, and I'm telling you what, he is accurate. He made one bad decision tonight, and I think you're right. He was trying to win the job, but he has thrown that deep ball with ease. He's thrown the underneath stuff with ease. He's moved. It would only be fitting for him to take us in here.
Morris, 17 of 24 for 173 yards. That lone interception at the end of the first half. McKay's done some nice things. 4 45, 24
Get
on
rid
that
of it.
play. Morris will loft it up, and he'll get rid of it. To fight again on 2nd down coming up with 1:15 to go.
Can't take the sack here. Zero. That was a zero blitz. He had to throw it.
The Colts do have all 3 timeouts if they need them. It was scoreless at the half. Cincinnati on the board first in the 3rd quarter with a field goal. Back-to-back Vinatieri field goals, late 3rd, mid-4th, put Indianapolis in front, 6-3, and then Cincinnati with the first touchdown of the game to rookie wide receiver Alonzo Russell with under 2 minutes left, put them in front, but the Colts just barely inside Bengal territory.
Blitz again, pick it up. Now he's got it picked up.
Rodgers with a dump off, first down, and he'll get out of bounds inside the 35.
Rodgers is your money guy. The next thing I'd like to see is Rodgers from the slot on a flatten up, which we call a wheel route. They're doubling in the slot, but I think you could. This is an excellent pickup right here. They picked up the blitz this time, so he had time, and Rodgers was able to run away from the coverage. That was a zone blitz. Good pickup.
7 catches for 80 yards on the night for Rodgers. 14 catches on the preseason. Cincinnati is going to use the timeout here. Their first of the second half. 1:08 to play. Indianapolis trying to come back and win it here tonight to wrap up the preseason in Cincinnati. It's time now for the Special Teams Player of the Game, presented to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers and CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. How about Pat McAfee? Not only for tonight, but his consistent work.
McAfee is really as good as it gets in 2 aspects of the game. He is the best angle kicker. He can literally take a return guy out of the game because he's one of the few guys that can angle kick, angle punt without it bothering him. And again, with the, the 25-yard rule, a versatile guy as a kickoff guy is going to be critical here down the road.
Pat McAfee, the Central Indiana Honda Dealer Special Teams Player of the Game. Visit them at CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. Morris back to pass to the left sideline. Too high for McKay, out of bounds, second down.
He's got plenty of time on the inside of the field because they have all 3 timeouts. They're doubling up high. See, they played coverage, and when they played coverage, they played a form of cover 2 with the safety on top. So you can still be patient to Rodgers underneath. You can be very patient with 3 timeouts.
Minute 3 remaining. Cincinnati leading 10-6.
See, the safeties are high and split.
Morris from the gun.
2-man.
Good protection. He will throw it incomplete. Looking for Devon Smith, but a flag is down.
Yeah, they held all the way. They're playing what we call 2-man. 5 under, man-to-man, tough inside with the safeties behind them. This is where you got to pick somebody now.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
Yeah, you'll see that outside corner, jam, and then he walls him off. Now he gets both hands. He gets that, what I say earlier, hand on the back, that's a rag. Also, when they play a lot of 2-man, the one thing that they're vulnerable to is the quarterback scramble because everybody's turning their back to the ball.
Tony McRae whistled on the penalty. He's out there on the bottom of your screen in coverage.
Now
First down.
That's it, patient.
Over the middle,
Okay.
and that's a short gainer for Smith.
Come on, get him up there. Get him up there. Don't let him set. All right, we took one of our timeouts, which is fine. There's still 2.
52 seconds left. 2nd and 5 from the Cincinnati 25.
Bengals went 2-man to 2-man, and then they came back with a 2-zone. Now they play a zone, and it's good patience by him, by Morris right there to dump it off in there. See the zone coverage top down.
Morris, 19 of 28, 192 yards. He's not played in an NFL game. He's been active a couple of times, including by the Colts at the end of last season after he was signed to the active roster, trying to show he belongs here or elsewhere tonight.
I'm going to be real surprised if he doesn't play in one someday.
2nd down and 5. Morris back to pass. Good protection again towards the end zone. Too high. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line off the fingertips of Chester Rogers.
Just a bit of an overthrow right there. He had time. Good protection. Just a bit of an overthrow.
A very small opening to get that to him. Would have taken a perfect pass. 3rd and 5 coming.
Got to make the first down here. Let's go. Make the first down. Get up on the ball.
Still 2 timeouts available. Play clock under 10.
They're blitzing. They're coming.
Morris from the gun. He will get rid of it quickly.
Get going.
By Smith. He's got the first down and more. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The Colts take the lead with a touchdown in the final minute.
Great call. Quick screen versus a 0 blitz. Outstanding. Morris got it out there. Excellent.
Stephen Morris, 25 yards to Devon Smith. His 2nd touchdown of the preseason.
See, everything is bunched up.
Front.
Everything is bunched up. Excellent call. Great call by Chudzinski. Get it out there against a 0 blitz. No better play call.
So after offensive futility for the first 3.5 quarters, we've had 2 touchdowns in the last minute and a half. Vinatieri with the point after. It is good, and the Colts are in front 13-10.
It's kind of been the way of the world here in the preseason. And again, good job, good poise by Morris. He never flustered. He had a chance to make one good throw, just missed it. But again, this was a good call. He released it quick, and Smith did the rest. Good job. That's catching him. That's making the right call at the right time. They played cover 2 twice, and you knew it was just a matter of time till they were going to bring the house. Good job. Colts won that chess match. Now you got to play defense here. Don't let it, keep that ball in front now.
Time for the Citizens Energy scoring recap. Second one we've done in the last minute and 15 seconds. 9 plays, 75 yards on 3rd down. Stephen Morris, short pass over the middle, and then Tavon Smith did the rest of the work. The rookie from Iowa scampers in for his second touchdown of the preseason to put the Colts back in front.
Look at Morris over there. I don't think he's even sweat. He didn't even need a shower, that guy. I tell you what, you never let him see you sweat, that kid. Terrific.
I like what we've seen from Stephen Morris throughout this preseason. McAfee set to kick off. Tony McRae is back deep for Cincinnati. McAfee will send him up 6 or 7 yards deep, and McRae will take a knee. Now it's time for the Big Mac sack of the game, brought to you by McDonald's. This isn't a sack, but boy, is it a big wallop. That still hurts.
That's what we call a decleater. He took the cleats right off the guy. And that's our guy McGill. We're gonna see when we get healthy up front, we get everybody back, and he can play fresh in games. We're gonna see a lot of that.
That was the Big Mac sack. With that Colts sack, get a free Big Mac tomorrow when you buy one at regular price. All right, we know it wasn't a sack, but it serves our purposes in this point. But if it was, you get that Big Mac tomorrow. Winning had to sit out a play, but was back in and has played throughout the second half. Now let's see what he can do with 40 seconds and 2 timeouts to go. Winning is back to pass. He'll throw it over the middle, and it's caught, and the lumber laid again there by the Colts.
McNary blew that coverage. He's trying to play cover 2, but the linebacker's got to get back in there, make him go down the field underneath.
Alden Darby with the big hit on Rashawn Simonize with his first catch of the night. Now Winning with the out, and that is a misfire. It's incomplete for Lingle, the tight end. I think that might have been deflected up at the line of scrimmage. So
okay,
second
16
down.
seconds.
16 seconds, 2 timeouts. They could kick a long field goal if they want, but I suspect Marvin Lewis will say enough is enough. And if need be, practice their Hail Mary.
I like that idea.
Even if it's safe from the 22-yard line.
There's cover 2 back there, Tampa 2.
Winning to the right, and Lingle drops it.
Okay. All right, now you can talk.
So third down coming up.
What you really like to do here, you know Nugent's, whatever Nugent's range is, you take your underneath coverage and you sit it right back in there, seriously, where that range is, so you know to keep everything in front. Nothing can be completed there or behind it. We used to call it the fence defense.
He's hit from the 57 before. In fact, that was in a playoff game against the Colts a couple of years ago. Thinking around the 40-yard line or so.
Yeah.
Third down and 10 from their own 42. Winning back to pass. A little bit of pressure. Throws down the right side. And it's intercepted.
Colts win. How about that?
Picked off by Christopher Milton to seal it for the Colts. Wrapping up the preseason.
Good job.
With a win here in Cincinnati. And those have been few and far between over the years. 14th straight year. These teams have played in the finale. The Bengals have generally controlled things.
Excellent. They wanted to try to throw that deep corner pattern. Good back end, top down, keep the ball in front. Excellent way to finish. These kids really came to play hard tonight. You know, maybe not artistically great, but they played hard and a really great job of pulling it out in the fourth quarter.
Looking for Alonzo Russell, who scored the touchdown a little while ago, and Christopher Milton, the rookie free agent from Georgia Tech, who had 5 picks in college, returned a couple for a touchdown, gets that one. The Bengals had won 10 of the last 12 in this matchup in the preseason, in the last 3, but not tonight. A kneel down, time expires. Chuck Pagano and the Colts finish up the preseason with a come-from-behind win. Stephen Morris leads them down the field, hits Tavon Smith with 40 seconds left for a touchdown. And the Colts win it 13-10 to finish the practice schedule at 2-2. Now it starts for real. Coming up in 10 days against Detroit. What did we see in this preseason? How do we feel about things, Rick?
Well, you know, obviously the preseason didn't go totally like we want to, but if nothing, I think what we did is I think last week was a wake-up call. I think it's going to help us in the long run. I really do. I think it's going to help us in the long run. We formed a baseline. I think what we got done tonight is we validated some guys we were interested in. Rogers is a keeper. Swope is a keeper. Morrison's a keeper. So we got some good validation. There was some good, really good defensive play out there. Honestly, we've got to get secondary guys back, and we got to refire that defense. Again, Morris makes it, to me, if it were my team, it still makes it a tough decision. Tolzien has played really well. I thought that Jordan Todman played well tonight. I don't think we saw much in Ridley. It's unfair to judge him based on one performance, but, you know, it certainly wasn't special. So, you know, I think Turbin's had a really good summer, had the one bad fumble tonight, but had a real good summer. So, to me, a lot of things are validated, and you've just got to, as I said, in that first 5 games of the season, there's a lot of teams that are beatable. So, you know, the Colts have to do a great job. They really have to step it up starting next Sunday against Detroit.
Andrew Luck was just a spectator tonight. Like what he saw, the Colts will have a happier bus ride home. Coming from behind to win here at Cincinnati, 13-10. Stay with us. Some final thoughts, stats from this game, and more coming up in just a moment from Paul Brown Stadium. Back in Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium, the preseason is over, and the Colts come out winners to square their preseason schedule at 2-2, coming from behind in the final minute and a half to win here in Cincinnati, 13-10. Thanks for joining us tonight, along with Rick Venturi. I'm Kevin Lee. Let's look at some final numbers from this game. Some impressive numbers individually put up from a team standpoint. What do we see, Rick?
Well, again, I like the passing yardage. I think our quarterbacks, both kids, played a very good football tonight. I thought they were very, very steady. You know, third down, outstanding, 10 of 16. And a stat that I always like. It doesn't stand on its own, but I still like the 3 minutes of ball possession and you know, establishing that part of the game. So, you know, really good. I think the passing yardage, outstanding. The average per play, 5.9. You know, those are things. I just thought these kids really came to play tonight. I thought they were really, really. They tried to play physical tonight. You saw that a lot of physical big hits. Kids like Morrison, you know, kind of led the way on that. You felt him all night long. I think they got a little bit better football out of a couple young kids. O'Kine was up and down, good plays, bad plays, but I think Bates showed a little bit tonight, number 50, a guy that they have a lot of hopes for. This was his first area up front. Of course, McGill is outstanding. I think McGill will be a force all season long, and overall, a good defensive effort. We had patched up guys at the corner. We know that. It's going to be really important that, you know, we get everybody back when we get ready for the season with our at the corner position. But offensively, again, I thought our quarterback play was good. Offensive line really not bad. And again, I think big things, you know, because I think they mean so much to our depth, is Swope at tight end and Rogers at wideout. I mean, those are guys that I think you're going to be able to play with, certainly in spots next week against Detroit. I really do. But the quarterback situation, basically, you know, with maybe the exception of one play, was all good tonight.
Morris went 20 of 30, 217 yards, the game-winning touchdown. Did have the pick at the end of the first half. Tolzien in a quarter plus, 11 of 12, 88 yards. Rogers caught 7 passes for 80 yards. Swope, you mentioned, the tight end, 5 for 47. I think he's going to make the team. McKay, 4 for 45. Smith, 4 for 39, and the touchdown. In the running game, Jordan Todman, 5 carries for 33 yards, and Turbin, 3 for 16. So some of the individual numbers. All right, let's talk what's coming up for real now. 10 days away from the start of the season. It will be at Lucas Oil Stadium, and it's our old friend Jim Caldwell and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I've broken the season down. This is actually the first 8 games. If you look at the first 7 games, if you go 7 and then consider the back 9, with the exception of the Broncos and the Texans, everybody on there is coming off a losing season. Everyone is beatable. Of course, it all starts with Detroit. So even though we've had, at times, we've been upset with our ball club here in the summertime, they could get it right, and they've got to step up. Obviously, you play one game at a time. There's no bigger game right now than the Detroit Lions. Detroit is an interesting team. They're coming off a tough summer, but they were a team that was 6-2 in the last 8 games. They saved Jim Caldwell's job. The quarterback Stafford had a tremendous last 8 games. They made the switch to Cooter as the offensive coordinator, and so this is a team that played exceptionally well. Now, you know, they lost their good receiver, Megatron, but Marlon Jones has had a really good summer. Broncos are what they are. They got quarterback issues. Chargers are struggling. I thought the Jaguars got slaughtered. Their ones against Cincy ones. Bears are struggling. Texans, good team. Still inexperienced quarterback, 7 games totally. You know, and then the Titans, who are getting better, but still struggle. So the biggest thing is to get off and running, get a start. The back 9 is very difficult, but momentum means everything in this league.
Yeah, here's why it's so important to get off to that good start, because this is a little more stout in the back.
That's right. You know, and if you add the first game there with the Chiefs, if you look at the back 9, you have 7 out of those 9 teams have power ratings, and I know we can argue power ratings, but they are baselines. 7 of them have power ratings in the top 16 teams in the league. So it's extremely important, as you said, Kevin, to get off and running. And really, you live in 1-week capsules in this league. It's all about getting after the Detroit Lions, getting yourself together, getting mad about it. You know, I think that game 3, you know, may be a big help in the long run, because nobody's going into that first game with an exaggerated opinion of themselves. They know they've got to be hungry, they've got to be tough. As you said, Jim Caldwell would love nothing better than to come in and get this win. There's a human interest story as well. But most importantly, get off to that week, next week at 4:30. Get off, get that first win, and get rolling.
Real quick, did you see enough from Andrew Luck to feel really good where he's
at? Yeah, I have. I am very impressed with Andrew. Even in the third game when he was getting killed, he was very, very sharp. I have absolutely no issues there. It's getting everything around him elevated and getting the maximum out of this defense in this first month.
Coach, it was a pleasure. I'm ready for football for real coming up next week.
Absolutely. Both of us will be on for real, Kevin.
Good stuff. Well, the Colts wrap up the preseason on a positive note, coming from behind to win tonight at Cincinnati. 13-10 the final. Now it starts for real. Lucas Oil Stadium, Sunday, September 11th against the Detroit Lions is the regular season opener. For Rick Venturi and Caroline Cann, I'm Kevin Lee. Again, the final here in Cincinnati. The Colts come from behind to beat the Bengals in the preseason finale, 13-10. Thanks for joining us tonight.